Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and I'm going to do a reaction to one of Live Action's excellent videos about Planned Parenthood sales pitches. So I'm going to make some comments and I'm going to take some notes so that I can add some links below. And sorry about the light. I do not have a professional doing my lighting for me. If I get more views, I can afford to set up a better studio. So here we go.
For a wide range of health information and services, call 1-800-2...
And I see young people who need information to make responsible decisions about their health care. And I see young people who need information.
So this is in Wisconsin.
There's no legs, no arms, no head, no brain, no heart. There's not a baby at this point.
And what this is reminding me of, I told the story elsewhere, part of what got me off the fence and into the pro-life movement was what had happened to my babysitter. When she was 15 years old, she deliberately got pregnant because she was helping her mom run a daycare center, and she thought, I'm taking care of other people's kids all day. I want one of the kids I'm taking care of to be mine. And her mother had told her when she found out she was pregnant, this is back in the 80s when abortions were a lot cheaper. Her mother said, I have $150. You have an appointment at Planned Parenthood. You have a choice. I can take you to Planned Parenthood for that abortion, or I can take you to the bus station and you can buy a one-way ticket to any place that $150 could take you. Nobody counseled her and told her that her mother was not allowed to just throw her out of the house like that. The only counseling, she said, was a group counseling where they kind of read an informed consent form and asked if anybody had any questions. Sherry raised her hand. She asked, what about the baby? She was 8 weeks pregnant. That's fully formed. That's arms, legs, fingers, toes, the whole 9 yards. Not sophisticated, not mature. Everything is not ready to rock and roll, but it's all there. And they told her, no, there's nothing like a baby. It's just something like a blood clot. And I was the one that was with her when we were pregnant together. She had moved out, married her boyfriend, and was going to be able to have and keep her baby this time. And I was with her when we got our little prenatal, what to expect when you're expecting type books from the library. And she found out what it was that the abortion had killed. And she was not very happy about it. But Planned Parenthood doesn't care whether you're happy, they care whether you get the sale.
So the test was positive. Are you planning to continue with the pregnancy? No. I don't want to. How many weeks?
Now notice they don't get into any kind of discussion about what her hesitations are about having the baby. They don't want to know. They don't care. Yeah, if you're not planning to keep the baby, good. Let's just take your money and get rid of it, shall we?
I'm guessing between 6 and 8, but that's just an estimate with your period.
What comes out?
Well, you miscarry at home, so the entire, whatever fetal matter is there.
Okay, so one of the things I'm going to provide a link to the playlist that Live Action has of women telling about when they went home with these self-managed abortions, these bathroom abortions, where they found out that no, it wasn't just a glob of tissue. And you can hear these women tell their own stories. So you can hear the difference between what they're being told and what they actually encounter when they go through with these abortions.
Do you see the baby? There's not a baby at this point. You wouldn't be able to identify any parts of the fetus whatsoever. What's the fetus? The fetus is the developing embryo inside of you. But at this point, there's nothing developed at all. There's no legs, no arms, no head, no brain, no heart. At this point, it's just the embryo itself.
Now, I do have to wonder whether this counselor, and I put that in quotes, honestly believes what she's saying. If she was trained that no, there's nothing even remotely like a baby there. Although, what do you think is happening in there? What do you think is developing in there? You know, 7 weeks in, and you don't think there's anything formed in there? But you know, was she indoctrinated by Planned Parenthood to actually believe this, or was she knowingly giving a sales pitch? I would love to know.
At this point, there's nothing developed at all. There's no legs, no arms, no head, no brain, no heart. At this point, it's just the embryo itself.
And just a note, for a lot of women, they consider that to be their living baby when the heart starts beating. And the heart starts beating. No, it's not a fully formed 4-chambered heart, but it is beating. It's pulsing and circulating blood through the system, which is what a heart does. It is doing what a heart does, pumping blood through the circulatory system. And the reason the heart develops so early in the pregnancy is because the entire fetus needs the blood flow to survive. It needs the oxygen. It needs to get the nutrients. It needs to have the waste carried away. So the idea that it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but the heart's just kind of sitting there, maybe with a little electrical current going through it, is absurd on its face if you stop and think about it. Oops, there we go.
They are really trying to increase their abortion numbers because that is the most lucrative part of their business.
You know, still midnight feedings, diapers, money. I mean, the state can help you with insurance, but after that, babies.
Again, notice the sales pitch. She's trying to sell an abortion. She's not directing this young woman toward a pregnancy resource center that could actually offer her help. And they like to present the myth that all that happens at a pro-life center is they lie to you and talk you out of the abortion and then kick you out. The standard follow-up is until the baby is 2 years old. But if you develop a relationship with those counselors, they're going to stay in your life as long as you want them there. And a lot of these people do develop relationships. And, you know, they can provide a lot of help. You know, when the baby formula shortage, get you some formula, get you a decent doctor, help you with a job, help you with housing. They don't want the women to know these resources are available. They want to scare these women away from those resources and just go on and on and on about how expensive babies are.
Do cost a lot, and right now the economy is pretty bad, so
It's expensive.
Yeah, don't have a job or anything. Yeah, so I mean, if you don't feel financially stable or you don't feel ready to have a baby, then I would go with abortion. But if
Come on, who ever feels ready to have a baby? Nobody ever feels ready. It is an overwhelming thing. But they're treating something that's normal, that sense that, wow, this is really something huge. Am I going to be able to deal with this? They pathologize it and treat it as a sign that you need an abortion because you're not going to be able to cope.
if you feel that you can wing it and do it, and you want to continue with the pregnancy, that's
Again, and she treats having the baby as, well, wing it, yeah, sure, you know, you're just a teenage girl. Yeah, like you seriously think you could do this. Nobody seriously thinks, and she's belittling the idea that this girl can pull resources together and be strong and have her baby.
something you really have to think about, you know. And as soon as you know that you have your decision, that's when you call the clinic and let them know. You know, there's adoption available, there's abortion, or...
Now, from what I've heard from Planned Parenthood employees, the fact that she mentioned adoption, they'll put the little tick box that they made an adoption referral. Any mention of adoption, they'll call an adoption referral so that they can pretend that they're not just about abortions.
Continuing the pregnancy, continuing responsibility. And what I say to the people that are against abortion, I say, you know, are you willing to take in all these aborted children?
And why is she bringing politics up? This is supposed to be a counseling session to help this young woman decide if she's going to go through with this abortion or not. And instead, this counselor's bringing up her own politics.
Raise them yourself, you know, That's a burden that somebody's financially responsible for, and you're raising another person for 18 years. And what I say to the people that are against abortion, I say, you know, are you willing to take in all these aborted children and raise them yourself? You know, that's a burden that somebody's financially responsible for, and you're raising another person for 18 years.
So the point that Live Action's making is that they're trying to make it sound like nobody's going to want to raise her baby if she doesn't feel capable. But you've got 555,000 married couples who are looking for a baby to adopt, and only 22,000 babies that are able to be placed in loving homes. So that's more than 10 families that are available out there for every baby that the mother feels that adoption would be the best choice. So, but they want to make you feel like nobody's going to want to raise your baby because the pro-lifers aren't adopting all of them. They're adopting a lot of them.
The earlier you make the decision, the better, you know. It won't stress you out as much, and it won't cost.
And this is another thing that they do. Anybody who has studied sales knows you want to get the sale made now. You never want to send the person home to think about it. It doesn't matter if you're selling furniture, used cars, insurance, timeshares, laptops. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You want to make the sale now. Because if the person goes home and thinks about it, the odds that they're going to come back get lower and lower and lower with each passing day. And you'll notice I don't think they do in this particular video, but the abortion advocates will often use, well, it's much safer to have it done earlier in the pregnancy. Well, you claim that abortion is so safe, you know, they act like you're more likely to get, you know, struck by lightning 3 times while being eaten by sharks and run over by a speedboat simultaneously than to die from an abortion, you know, the way they make it sound. But then why do you care when you do it? If even 3rd trimester it's so safe that the risks are negligible, why would they bring up safety as a reason to do it sooner? And that's because they will use everything they can to make the sale. You want to get the commitment right now. You don't want to wait.
You know, and it actually does affect the price of the procedure too. It's cheaper the earlier along you are. But I mean, I know that the commercials and the pictures and everything that are out there are just like horrible, and they try to make it out to be this terrible thing, like we're throwing babies out the back door into the dumpster.
Okay, so this Planned Parenthood isn't throwing babies out the back door into the dumpster. Where do you think the pro-lifers get those babies for those photos? Dumpster diving. I mean, there was this one case in, I think it was California, where an abortion clinic just abandoned a rented storage unit. It was just stockpiled with fetuses. And we had Ulrich Klopfer, who was keeping them in his garage and in his junk car. But no, throwing them in the trash it's done. I mean, there's also running them down the garbage disposal, or you can just kind of hoard them like Kermit Gosnell did. But the vast majority of those aborted babies where you see pictures, that they were dumpster diving. And if you don't care about the fetuses, you should care that when they find the fetuses, usually there's the women's medical records too. Confidential medical files, HIPAA violations, just thrown out in the trash. And sometimes not even in the clinic's trash. They'll throw it away in a restaurant or an apartment complex or someplace nearby so that it's not in their trash.
Something like that.
The ones they don't
like
sell.
That. It's a quick procedure, and women are early enough along where there is no real fetal matter. It's not like arms and legs, and you know, it's not. It's just embryos. It's not like arms and legs, and you know, it's not. It's just embryos.
Okay. So I will link below to that playlist that Live Action put out about what the women's experiences were actually like with these abortion pills when they went home. I'm going to give you some about the prenatal development. So, you know, in that 6 to 8 week realm, what really is going on there. And then I will also link to a video about Planned Parenthood's abortion quotas. So let me know what you want me to do videos about. I do requests.